Hey, what's up, everybody? Mason, and I'm an alcoholic. My sober day is, when is it? It's June 15th, 2018. And the way that I have been able to do that is through God, my higher power, one day at a time. But it wasn't that easy when I first decided to not blow my brains out and get some spiritual help and go to treatment. I had to pray like every minute or every 5 minutes or every 30 minutes or however bad it got. And then eventually, the more separated I was from the alcohol and drugs, the easier it got for me. And it wasn't easy at first. I had to lose a lot of good people. My friend, my running buddy, who I got all my dope from, he had to get locked up. He got 30 years in federal penitentiary. My other two best friends died, and the roommate, one of my friends who took me in off the streets, he died too. So my disease took me, I ended up being homeless in the back of Kroger on Shinaway. It's what we used to call the shit pit. It's where we used to go as kids and smoke weed and stuff. And it ended me basically homeless. I had a job and I was still working. Things could have got a whole lot worse, but I was basically sleeping outside and still working. And to me, that's insanity in itself. But this guy I met at this old church called Quest, the 21 group, he started talking to me about some things that started to really make sense. And one of the things he talked about was sober living. And eventually, well, before I got into sober living, I asked this man to be my sponsor. And he went through the house and everything, and I went to the house too. But they weren't going to let me in at first because I had marijuana in my system or whatever. But the guy who I came with went in there and basically wrote for me. Basically said that it took this guy 30 days to get off heroin, meth, everything else I was on under the sun, alcohol. And basically they let me in, which is very cool. And I've been there going on just about 3 years. I relapsed once, went back to treatment, went to Recovery Works in Georgetown for the second time, and went through the steps. Yeah, I'm going through the steps for, I think, the fourth time. I'm on my fourth step. So that's how I have got the most freedom and the most relief from stuff that was really bothering me and holding me back and holding me prisoner. But and I've done it one day at a time. That's how I've done it. When I have bad days, I count the hours left of the day. It's really not that bad. And I've noticed too that my problems are of my own making. Us as alcoholics, we like to blow shit up out of proportion and create these scenarios in our mind that are just as insane as the drugs or alcohol. So for me, I have to be aware of that shit too and keep shit real simple and meet people where they are. And that's really hard as an alcoholic.